The Woman in Cabin 10 movie review. Quick movie review here. I liked it. I enjoyed it. This film is, I guess, it's predictable to some extent. And you know what? Actually, it wasn't to me, it was a different lady, and I guess it is technically a different lady. And she did meet the real lady actually when she was like, that's what it makes sense why she said, "Oh, now I'm feeling unwell and I don't want to, do because she was gonna talk to her about something, but then she's like, well, it's late, do it tomorrow." And it sounded like she was for sure like, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow, and then she changes her mind about doing it, and I don't think she ever brings it up again actually. And it makes sense because that night after she had met her, she died. She killed that bitch. And the question, how did they sneak her on the boat? I don't think the guy owned that boat. I think he was renting it or so. Maybe he did own it actually. I don't know. Well, maybe he did own it because when she asked the coworkers, not the coworkers, the service, not the servers, what is the workers? I guess just that. She asked the workers, how easy is it for someone to smuggle someone on this boat? And their reaction to it is like, oh, I don't think we should be talking you about that. I don't know. They react that the word that the one worker gives, she's like speaking on their behalf. It almost implies that maybe and then the captain guy, he was in on it. But then there's also that lady with like the red hair that, well, I guess she wasn't a worker, and that's why we can trust her in that part. She's like their aide of some sort, so she's close to the rich people, but not too close. But the captain guy tries to kill her along with the doctor. The doctor has some seedy stuff. He's like a rapist type doctor. He's done some inappropriate things, so that's why he's got an oath to try to protect this guy. He's like, he has a moral compass, I guess, when it comes to murder at least. And so he explains to them like, it's your wife was dying, so I guess me killing her. Maybe he justified it in his own way to say that. But what's it called? The other one, what was I thinking of? The other lady, because he said the other lady, why does she gotta die? This is the lady that he recruited to be, because it's like, and I like that in this movie he used AI to find basically her doppelganger, somebody that looks very similar to her. It's the same actress actually, really, but to look similar to her, or it's the same actress in reality. And what do you call it? It's supposed to be that this individual, is meant to take the place of the wife, but he's not just gonna let, and the lady, our main character, she tells the woman this, she mentions to her, like, listen, he's gonna kill you too. Don't think for a second that he's gonna, like, you gotta kill the wife, you signed it away, he gets to have all the money, she doesn't get her wish. He's gonna kill you too, like, get rid of both of y'all evidence. Maybe even kill that doctor guy, fuck it. Because he's got, some dirt on him. He knows about the murder plot thing. But then he knows about his child rape thing, or I don't know if it was child rape, but he knows about his bad thing. What he did must have been pretty bad too. Like, they're both gonna get lengthy jail sentences, stigmatized, all that bad stuff. But what happens in this film? I'm thinking of something in my head. Her ex, like either probably ex-boyfriend, although they probably weren't married, but they probably were. It seems like they wasn't a fling, or wasn't a lackluster relationship. Maybe it was serious at some point. It was a very there was some true connection with the relationship. You can tell that they still like each other. Him in particular, he's still very much into her, and so when they see each other, I guess it's not quite. Maybe it's awkward a little in the beginning, but then it quickly becomes, because she even everyone thinks he's crazy. She's crazy, and so she's talking to him. So it becomes quickly like they become infatuated and associate with each other. They start associating with each other pretty quickly. So I guess that tells you like the relationship is, they still like each other. They still have a fondness for each other. And he dies defending her. That was nice. It was honorable, but also was sad. I wasn't expecting the sedative thing. I thought it was a sedative. I thought it would incapacitate the person. But no, it actually fucking killed him. And so when he's fighting the other guy, he gets the strength to still fight just a little bit. So, it's like definitely, like, that's what he tells her before he collapses. What do you call when he collapses first, he tells her like, run, like, just run, just don't let me fighting go down in vain, basically. But then he gets up for a second time and he's struggling, he's trying to strangle the guy. and he actually, like, we see some blood come out of his mouth, and he just collapses dead right on top of him. She jumps into the water, and the doctor guy, he's like, hey, we got a problem, you know, she escaped. And he's like, what? You know, obviously he's kind of pissed. Like, my God, my problem's still here. Because, of course, it's like, you have to do it yourself. You can't rely on anyone else to do it. And then they got to tell you, oh, it's still around. But, what do you call? What was I thinking in my head? What was I thinking of in my head? I was thinking of something in my head. It's sort of there. It's coming a little bit together. It was sort of there. What was I thinking of? What was I thinking? In my brain, in mi cabeza. What was I thinking about? The rich doctor guy. Yeah, that she would have died in the cold water. The frigid cold water. She would have died. She doesn't die. She makes it to a cabin along the shore. And the cabin, it's conveniently, it's open. She can go in there. And she's not even too far from, like, there's where they had docked off. So they go to Norway, but it's not like for any. It looks like they're in some random, like, a small village. It's not even a village. Maybe it's just like a little cove, like an alcove, a little cove. Some dog with some buildings there. It's like a private cove, I guess, in the what's this country called? Norway. And we're there. That's what we're doing. We're here in Norway, and it's supposed to be like for oh my God, what's happening in the film? What's happening in the film is, what's it called? It's like thinking in my head. Some sort of reception, the signing of the money away, which is a pretty important thing. Actually, it's a pretty important thing for the movie, because this signing's supposed to be where this lady, you know, originally, if the husband wasn't a piece of shit, he would have lost the money. He was going to give the money, the foundation, away from his control, because I guess she was the mastermind. She was the main person, perhaps. Like, she was the main breadwinner. It was her fortune, and she married him. He came into the fold, and I guess maybe he was a good person, right? But then he got greedy. He got used to this wealthy lifestyle, and maybe he didn't have to work. The wife was the main breadwinner, basically. She was the head of the house, not him. And so, you know, when the head of house said, I want my money to go to... And she even said, I like what she acknowledges in her speech, like, you know, the money can go, you know, to be people that would be more generous than me and my husband ever were, actually. These will go for people that will use it for good. They will be generous with the money. It wouldn't be wasted on idolatries. I mean, they're in this mega super yacht mansion that definitely wastes a lot of money, right? I mean, it's a nice luxury. It's cute. It's like a little cruise ship, you know. It's got a small inside it, which I think that's the only amenity, really. There's a library. It's the one part that actually, I remember she mentioned she designed the ship. I just remembered that. So maybe they do own the ship. Maybe they do own it, actually, because she does mention that they designed the ship. She's mentioned that, not designed the ship, but like the study / library, the one part of the boat that was actually, what's it called? It was actually designed. So I actually designed this part of the boat. So one part I wanted to have a say in how it looked like. And I say study, but I only recall seeing like one desk in there. It's like her desk, I guess. But presumably anybody can go in there. And then there's like oh my God, how many cabins? There's like a good amount of cabins. You know, I mean, it's a little cruise ship basically. There's a good amount of staff too in the boat. They have a little laundromat in there. They have a pool in the boat. And in the pool, there's even a part of the pool where there's glass. So you can see the person swimming from some lounge area within the boat. I like that the rock star guy, he leaves halfway through the film. He comes in, he sings the song. I think he maybe was a real musician too. And he got the nice song. The song was pretty nice that he was singing. I liked it. They didn't play it for too long though, but I did like how it sounded. And but he leaves kind of early on in the film. I like midway through the film, pretty much. So we don't really see him anymore. And then I guess that's what he brought to the film. He brought the musical aspect. Like I said, her ex-boyfriend, whatever, he died. That was kind of sad. It's they like cute chemistry together. And then what else? in this film. They think she's crazy. Obviously, well, maybe the audience knows she's not crazy, but people think she's crazy. Maybe they took a different approach. It could have looked like, I don't know. Maybe they could have make it more suspense or something. It's kind of predictable, I feel, maybe, this film. The shots in Norway are very beautiful. It's pretty. The Norway shots that they have in the film. And there's one scene that's a little confusing. There's a scene where they get off, like, instead they seem like they're in the middle of the ocean, or like they docked. They laid anchor really far offshore. I don't remember the context of the film. They ever mentioned like where exactly they were in that particular space, that area. But what do you call it? The ship runs away. The little boat, they have a little dinghy boat that, you load up and you leave the main boat. And what's it called? They leave, and then she's on the boat, and she's left behind on the boat. I think she was maybe doing the spa that day, or she was seeing the doctor that day, some shit like that. And Lo, that's her name. Her name's Lo. Well, her nickname's Lo. Maybe her name's like Lauren or something. Because the guy says, I am worried about Lo. That's why he stays behind. He was going on. He was their photographer. He got hired as their photographer for these people. Everybody has a role to play, sort of. And but we don't explore everybody's role. We do have one lady. They got a little backstory. The guy gets a brief. It sounded like he had an American accent too. And he got a little briefing when she asked him questions. But like for the most part, nobody really. I guess the doctor. We get to find out like, oh, he's a piece of shit person too. But I mean, it was decent enough. I did enjoy watching it. It's the number one on Netflix. Also made me watch it, and it was. I wouldn't say it's amazing. Not amazing by any stretch, but it was decent enough. The Woman in Cabin 10 movie review.